Ever be deep into YouTube, minding your own business, and suddenly, boom, a Ryan's World video shows up and you're like, wait, this is still a thing? Yep, very much alive. And somehow, the deeper you go, the crazier it gets. If you're out of the loop, Loann Kaji is a 13-year-old YouTube megastar who's been reviewing toys since he was 3 years old. While the rest of us were struggling with basic motor skills, this kid was laying the groundwork for a full-blown media empire. His channel kicked off in 2015 and has since pulled in over 38 million subscribers and an unbelievable 58 billion views. But it doesn't stop at YouTube. Ryan's brand has exploded into toys, merch, video games, and even a full Nickelodeon show. The real question is, out of all this massive money and influence, how much of it actually belongs to Ryan himself? That's where the story starts getting a little complicated.
How much does Ryan get to keep of all this?
Oh, be careful, Ryan.
Ryan's parents, Shion and Loann Kaji, are the ones running everything, and let's just say they're not exactly scraping by. Multiple mansions, luxury vacations, the whole package. They're clearly doing extremely well, and hey, good for them. But it raises an uncomfortable question. Is Ryan doing this because he genuinely wants to, or because he doesn't really have a choice? If you watch any of Ryan's newer videos, you don't need to overanalyze it to feel that something's off. He looks tired, burnt out, and honestly, kind of done pretending to be 5 years old. Ryan is 13 now, but he's still being pushed to act like the same hyper little kid from a decade ago. And it shows. The numbers don't lie either. These videos used to pull in billions of views without breaking a sweat. Now, many of them struggle to even hit a few 100,000. And when views drop, revenue follows. So with the money slowing down, his parents had to pivot fast. Their big brain solution? Toss Ryan into a kid's animated movie. And come on, when Ryan said he wanted to be an animator, I'm pretty sure this is not what he meant.
When I grow up, I want to be like an animator. I think it's really fun to do because like the drawing and then like at the end you get to see the whole thing and see what you've like worked on the whole time.
Did they seriously think this was going to resurrect a dying channel? Ryan's audience has grown up. Those kids aren't sitting around watching toy videos anymore. They're on TikTok, playing video games, or watching completely different creators. Ryan himself is 13 now, and somehow the solution was to put him in a movie made for toddlers? Yeah, that logic never made sense. So let me save you the pain of sitting through what might be one of the worst kids movies ever made. Here's the short version. The acting was rough, like painfully mediocre at best. Nothing felt natural, nothing felt earned, and the whole thing came off more like a desperate brand extension than an actual movie anyone asked for.
I don't like this, Aiden. Just whistle or something.
The animation was incredibly underwhelming. It looked cheap, rushed, and lifeless, like the bare minimum effort was put in just to slap Ryan's name on it and call it a movie. Nothing about it felt polished or impressive, especially for a brand that's supposedly worth millions.
Oh, let me have this. That was pretty cool, huh?
And the script honestly felt like it was written by Ryan's younger sisters. Messy, childish, and completely lacking any real structure or depth.
You're lucky I'm not calling the actual boss.
You are the boss?
Put all of that together and you get Ryan's World, the movie. And honestly, the reviews were more entertaining than the film itself. That's saying a lot. At this point, I can't even lie, I low-key feel bad for the kid. It really feels like his childhood was traded in so his parents could keep the money flowing. And once you start looking at everything through that lens, a lot of this situation gets uncomfortable real fast. And since we're already talking about greed, yeah, we need to bring up the time Ryan's mom got arrested for shoplifting.
People have been looking into the family's past, and it turns out that Ryan's mother, Loann Kaji, was arrested in 2002 for shoplifting. She was trying to steal around $93 worth of clothing from JCPenney at Alameda Mall in Houston, Texas. Loann was 18 at the time and attending the University of Houston. She faced 60 days in jail, and instead the judge gave her 6 months probation and a $150 fine. She was told that she had to complete 40 hours of community service and complete random drug tests. Pretty lenient. Problem is, Loann did not show up to her community service, she didn't report to her community advisor, nor did she pay for the fees. She was arrested again in 2003 for violating her parole and spent 30 days in jail.
Yep, that story blew up fast, mostly because mugshots are internet gold when it comes to clickbait. But honestly, the shoplifting isn't even the real issue here. A minor crime from years ago isn't what matters. What does matter are the serious concerns about whether Ryan is being exploited, and just how far his parents are willing to go to protect their cash machine. Now, completely unrelated, but somehow just as urgent, can we talk about Shion's hair? This man has access to hundreds of millions of dollars, and yet, year after year, he continues to debut some of the worst haircuts known to mankind. Like, how is this even possible? Is he cutting his own hair in the dark? Is this a social experiment? At this point, someone needs to sponsor this man a single visit to a competent barber. Maybe that alone could finally bring this whole saga to an end. And while we're already talking about the parents, Loann really seems like she's trying very hard to break into acting, and it's not exactly subtle.
Today we're playing giant battleship in real life. It is me versus Shion.
Come on.
In every single video, she's turned up to 11, like she's auditioning for a Hollywood blockbuster that nobody asked for. If you want to be an actress, just say that. Seriously. At this point, maybe if Loann lands an acting gig and Shion finally gets a respectable haircut, Ryan can hang it up and actually enjoy being a teenager. But here's the part that really stands out, and it's honestly kind of unsettling. Ryan is never interviewed by himself. Ever. His parents are always right there, hovering just off camera, making sure he doesn't say anything unscripted or off-brand. No candid moments, no real independence, just constant supervision. And that alone tells you more than any headline ever could.
Oh, be careful, Ryan.
Anytime an interviewer even hints at a slightly uncomfortable question, they immediately swoop in to clarify, redirect, or speak for him, making sure nothing slips through the cracks.
Like sometimes I can see like the drafts first, and then after I can see like the full thing. And it's really cool to see how it changes over time.
Yeah, you were in the front line seeing the each process of animation in a way, because first,
Call me paranoid, but even knowing he's still a kid, it just feels weird. Between 2018 and 2020, Ryan's channel wasn't just popular, it was the highest earning YouTube channel in the world. Yep, this kid was making more money than anyone else on the platform. Even though the channel has slipped a few spots since then, it's still raking in insane sums. In 2021, 2022, and 2023, Ryan remained among the richest YouTubers out there. And this isn't just YouTube ad revenue we're talking about. Ryan's brand is everywhere. Walmart, Target, Nickelodeon, they've all cashed in on his face. So where's all this money going? Well, let's just say the Kajis are not living modestly. Multiple mansions, each valued between $5 and $10 million, plus extravagant vacations where budget is clearly a foreign word. Honestly, if you've worked that hard, enjoy it. Fair enough. But here's the thing, if you're already set for life, why keep forcing a 13-year-old to crank out content like he's still 3? Now, you might be wondering, how does a kid make more than most adult businessmen? The answer is advertisers. Advertisers love channels like Ryan's because kids don't know the difference between a paid ad and a toy review. According to The Truth in Advertising, around 90% of Ryan's videos contain paid product placements. And who's watching? Toddlers. Toddlers who think Peppa Pig is an actual person. Turns out the FTC has rules about this, but without proper enforcement, those rules are about as useful as a screen door on a submarine, and that's exactly where the Kajis ran into trouble. Back in 2017, the Children's Advertising Review Unit, yes, that's a thing, warned the family that they needed to clearly disclose when content was sponsored. The Kajis said, got it. But clearly, they didn't. Fast forward 2 years and the FTC got involved, prompting a scramble. Ryan's parents were suddenly facing major fines, and even YouTube had to shell out $170 million for collecting data on kids to target them with ads. In short, the feds were not happy.
FBI, open up!
And when you really think about it, it's kind of wild. These people were literally making millions by exploiting kids. Now that Ryan is 13 and looks completely over it, not that you can blame him, he's been making videos for a decade, it seems like his twin sisters, Emma and Kate, are starting to step into the spotlight. Convenient, right? In the Kaji's eyes, you've got to keep the money flowing somehow. At this point, the family has more money than they could ever spend. So why keep pushing? Maybe it's habit. Maybe it's greed, maybe it's just the sunk cost fallacy in action. Whatever the reason, one thing's clear. The internet is noticing, public perception is shifting, and if history has taught us anything, it's that even the biggest empires don't last forever. So, will Ryan ever escape the YouTube machine? Only time will tell.